Okay, so I'm going to show you how to change the brake pads on a V-brake. So you're going to need a 5mm Allen key, and we're going to loosen off these bolts. But first of all, you're going to take this noodle out from here. So what you want to do is you can squeeze the brakes together, and then you're going to pull this back and up, and it comes out, and then you release the brakes off. Loosen off this bolt here with your 5mm Allen key, and you want to just get it so you can loosen it and then like twist it off with your fingers, because there's lots of loose parts in here. So just pop this in. And then I'm just going to loosen it off with my fingers. So you want to make sure that you've caught, see there's like 3 different washers there. So you want to make sure you're holding all of them when you loosen it off. And then just put the tool in your pocket. And then you want to grab the other top section, making sure that you grab the 2 washers on the top. It's important to make sure that you note the order of the bolts when you take the brake pads out, because your new brake pads will have the same bolts on there. So you want to make sure that you know that you've got 3, starting with a very thin one here, slightly thicker matte one, and then this curved one. And then you're going to have a brake, which the frame goes between, and then you've got another curved one, and then a big fat one.
So when we're going to put the brake pad back in the bike, we need to make sure we've got our nut and washers on the outside and our washers on the inside, corresponding to the ones you took off. So keep hold of things because they're liable to fall on the floor. Okay, so you put the brake and a couple of washers on the inside of the arm and try and keep hold of everything whilst you pop the last few washers and the nut on the outside. So first of all, push your thumb against the brake arm so that the pad lines up on the rim, the metal rim, and make a rough adjustment using the Allen key and the nut. Once you've got this roughly in place, you can reconnect your cable. And then you can make finer adjustments on the rim. We're looking to get the centre of the pad on the centre of the metal rim, making sure that it's not catching on the tyre above or dropping down below the rim. We also want to make sure that the rim is roughly even and not too bent one way or the other. You can use the brake lever to help you, so I'm going to put the brake on and then make my adjustments like that. It just gives you the added bit of tension to keep the pad in place. So I do it roughly like that. As you can see, it's spinning as I twist it. So quick, I'm going to put it back up. Squeaking, but working. And not too bent one way or the other, although there is a technique called towing in, where we can get the front of the pad a little bit closer to the rim than the back of the pad, and this can alleviate squeaking of the brakes. So you can use your thumb to guide the pad, and this can be a bit fiddly. So we've looked at replacing the pads. The other main adjustment we need to look at is the cable. So the cable manages how sharp or loose your brake lever is. So this is all right. It's kind of engaging after a couple of centimetres, but we'll show you how to make small adjustments to that. If I just wanted this to be a little bit tighter, I could open my barrel adjuster anti-clockwise a couple of turns, and then it's a little bit sharper. If I needed to make a more significant change, I would return the barrel adjuster to the start, and I'm going to open this nut here again with my 5mm Allen key or your little multi-tool. Open the cable clamp, and I've kind of clamped the arms like this so that I know what position they were in. So I've opened that. Now if the brakes were too loose, then I would need to pull that cable through and tighten it back down again. But actually I've now tightened it too much that the wheel's not spinning. So if you need to loosen the cable, loosen your brakes a bit, then you just let it out again. And just make sure to tighten this up really nice and tight with the long end of your Allen key if you're using one like that. So yeah, it might be a bit hit and miss. Open it a bit, close it a bit, and yeah, if you want to make small adjustments, tighten this in to loosen the cable, loosen this to tighten the cable. Sometimes once you've got your brake pad and cable adjustment correct, you still have an uneven braking. So what we've got here is this arm is moving loads and this arm not doing very much work. So that can lead to this catching on the wheel, as you can hear now. So the way to deal with this is the little spring tension adjustments. So in V-brakes you've got a little spring. Some of them they're external, you can pop out like that. Some of them they're internal, you won't be able to see them. That lives in there. And this little screw, when you screw it in, it puts more pressure on the spring, more tension, and it pulls it away from the rim. And when you release it, it releases the tension and it means the arm goes closer to the rim again. So what we've got here is the tension on this spring is quite high and the tension on this spring is quite low. So what we can do is increase the tension here by screwing this onto the spring. And now actually that's probably a bit too much. This one's not moving so much, so I'll just back it off a turn, and that's nice and even now.